let's go to the regional coordinating council and speak to the regional minister, who is head of security in the region. The Honorable Said Jibril is the Savannah regional minister. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News on Citi FM in Accra.
Thank you, Maro, and thank you for having me.
So we're just receiving this disturbing news about clashes that has led to death. At least the report we have is that it's 7. As a regional minister, has this briefing reached you yet?
Thank you very much. I've had a briefing close to 3 hours from my regional police commander, who is currently at Lukula, where these disturbances took place. He confirmed to me that one person sadly has lost his life, and is a chief of the Lukula community.
I see. I believe they are still conducting investigation, but is there a history to this?
Sure. Omari, if you remember, this whole Lukula, Mimpiasem, these particular two communities administratively fall under the North Gonja district. And North Gonja is one of the districts in the Savannah region. There's no dispute about that. The only dispute we have is about the two traditional areas, the Janga traditional area located in the Northeast region and the Waspi traditional area located in the North Gonja district in the Savannah region. These two paramount claim that those communities, Mimpiasem and Lukula, belongs to them. And for that matter, they have to enskin their chiefs in those two communities. And this is where these clashes began. It all started somewhere in 2019 when the chief for Mimpiasem died, and he was going to be enskinned by the Waspi traditional area. And so when a chief is enskinned for Mimpiasem, he also takes care of the other communities. That is Sekwege number 1, Sekwege number 2, and then Lukula, precisely in the North Gonja district. But quite recently, the Janga traditional area also thought that those communities belongs to them. And so they also enskinned chiefs to represent the Mamprugu traditional area in those communities. And this is where the problems began since 2019.
So it has to do with who has a right to enskin who in that area.
Absolutely. And who the land belongs to.
So politically, the place is in Savannah region, but traditionally it is Mamprugu land. Is that what it means?
No, I'm not saying that. Traditionally, two traditional areas are claiming that portion of land and those communities. That is the Gonja Traditional Council, specifically the Waspi Foromancy is claiming that land and those communities, and the Janga Traditional Area under the Nairi is also claiming those communities and that disputed land as well. So this is how the clashes is between Gonjas and the Mamprusi.
I see. Now, one person is dead, at least what you have gotten official, even though earlier report we had was 7. And that person we are told is a chief. Now, do we know if this is a chief from, do you know which side this chief is from?
The chief, I'm told by my regional police commander, is from the Mamprugu area. That's the Janga traditional area.
Now, there would be consequences or reprisals, wouldn't there? Or the police assures you that they're ready for this?
We have already positioned the police in those two communities. Precisely, it's a joint operation between the Northeast Regional Police Command and the Savannah Regional Police Command. Initially, we were struggling with logistics and then even the men and women. But as we speak, because of the situation that we face, we have had enough men and women and enough logistics in place. And sadly, this morning when we were moving some of the police from the Daboya traditional area to the two communities, or the Devoya Divisional Police Command, to those communities. They were involved in an accident, and as we speak, we have to help them to Tamale Regional Hospital. 7 policemen were involved in that accident, and thankfully, they are all alive as we speak.
Thank God for that. Now, someone from the community who has sent us a message says that, so the person gives us 5 communities. It says Mpasem in North Gonja, Sakpega number 1, Sakpega number 2, Lukula, and then Patorigu.
Patergu, I didn't mention Patergu because Patergu is in the northeast region.
Good.
And I can speak for the communities that fall administratively in the Savannah region.
Indeed, the person says Patorigu is in the Mamprugu Muadugri district of the northeast region.
That's why I said it's in the northeast region.
And
then Sakwege number 1, Sakwege number 2, Mimpiasem and Lukula administratively fall under the North Gonja district.
Under your region.
That is the Savannah region.
Okay. The person says these 5 communities are now like ghost towns since all the women and children have run away, leaving the aged and vulnerable. We wish to appeal to your station to call on the National Security and Ghana Police Service to come to our aid. In fact, the military should be called to and help on our behalf to help protect lives and property and prevent this from continuing. That's what the person has said.
Obviously, it is a fact. This rumor of these clashes has been on for close to 2 days now. So there were a movement of people, particularly women and children, from these communities to safe areas as we speak. But for Sakpege number 1 and number 2, I am 100% sure that the residents are still there, because the assemblyman just spoke to me not quite long, also asking for security, because they are also afraid that their communities may be attacked. And so they have not moved out. But 100% sure that Lukula, there's nobody there. Mimpiasem, people have moved out. Patargo, people have moved out in the northeast.
When you say people have moved out, it means they have fled the town.
They fled the town, yes. They fled the town about 72 hours back.
Does it mean that there are people who have invaded the town and are fighting or shooting? What is the nature of it?
This was really what happened. You know, both traditional areas brought in their warriors into this, particularly these 2 communities, Mimpiasem precisely, and Lukula. And Lukula is where the fighting actually took place during the early hours of this morning. And so that is why that place, most of the houses have been touched, and then there's nobody eventually in Lukula except the police, who have been able to flush out the warring factions who were there. And in actual fact, we are in touch with the police. Like I told you initially, we have enough men and women at Lukula and Mpiasem. These are basically the 2 main communities where we think if there's going to be any clash again, it's most likely to take place in those 2 communities. So we have enough police at that place.
You don't need military enforcement.
Yes, that is the situation now. We, as a regional coordinating council or the chairman for RECSEC, have the military base. 155 regiment is right seated in Damango, but the chain of command is such that if the police are unable to control the situation or contain the situation, then we'll be forced to call in the military. But as it is now, the police are able to contain the situation and are assuring the 2 regional coordinating councils that they will be able to handle the situation. So it is now a joint operation between the Northeast Regional Police Police and the Savannah Regional Police. So they are handling the situation as we speak. And they have not given us any feedback that they can handle the situation. If that be the case, then we will call in the military to support them.
Very well. Thank you and wish you all the best. Please protect the area for us.
Thank you so much.
That's Honorable Said Jibril. He's the Savannah Regional Minister. So